Can you just talk about the season ticket thing? Can you give a voice on the season ticket update? It actually helps that there's been an update from the club website just before we're starting to record this podcast. So I'm just going to read you what the season ticket situation is at Sheffield Wednesday at the minute. The Owls can update supporters on the current situation regarding 2019-20 season ticket rebates, together with some important information ahead of 21-22. 2019-20, as previously communicated, the process for those who selected option 8 for a cash refund has taken significantly longer than anticipated. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted on every area of the club, with revenue streams decimated over the past 14 months, alongside an integration to a new ticketing system that means all refunds are being actioned manually and individually. Cash flow has been affected drastically since March 2020, and all we can ask is for your continued patience through these most challenging of times. Refunds are being issued in chronological order where respective applications were made, and although we did aim to conclude the process by this point, this unfortunately has not been possible. We apologise sincerely, but can reassure all supporters who applied that refunds will be honoured as promised at the earliest opportunity. Alternatively, following a productive supporters engagement panel meeting on Thursday evening, a suggestion was put forward to offer fans awaiting a refund option to redeem against a ticket or retail equivalent credit. We are pleased to confirm this option will be available, which would be of enormous benefit to the club's current cash flow situation.
Okay.
For supporters wishing to select this, please email ticket inquiries, all that, right. We'll talk about next season in a minute.
Have you been in the club shop, Wendy? There's not a lot of stuff to buy.
But I think it's also, is it also about putting it towards the next season ticket that they said there? Can I just say,
or retail.
Right, we haven't spoken about this because probably quite like blasely, like I didn't buy a season ticket for last season, so it didn't affect me. Right. Okay. I knew what was coming. And also it was a case of I knew I couldn't commit to every single weekend. Actually, then a pandemic hit and I could commit to every single weekend, but it's a good thing I didn't buy a season ticket because I'd have ended up in this situation. But I have got to say, I've always thought, like, this is not acceptable, right? And there is other clubs that are getting their money back. And I understand the cash flow thing, and I understand the reason we're in this cash flow thing is, yes, there's a pandemic, but the reason that our refunds are taking so long, in my opinion, are basically so we don't end up in more crap with financial fair play, and that is a club-specific issue.
Yeah.
And it's evident in the line which would be of enormous benefit to the club's current cash flow situation. Please help us. Please help us.
Yeah.
You are the fans. You need to help us. Right, this is what angers me. These fans are also in a cash flow situation. Some fans just want their money back and they can afford it and it's all of that. But there is some fans that spend their entire a big chunk of their livelihoods on supporting Wednesday and doing that. And they've also had their wages cut. There's some people that have lost their jobs. There's people that have been furloughed. This pandemic has hit a lot of people, especially the working class people who have not been able to go and do their jobs for a lot of the time.
Had you just said furloughed there?
Yeah.
I just had something pop up on my phone. Sheffield Wednesday players have rejected the club's attempt to place them on furlough. Just now.
We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to say that I do think this is unacceptable that fans have not been able to get their money back now. I'm sorry, you're a football club that pays thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds per week to individual players.
Where's the money to kind of give back?
A few £100 back to the fans that need it to feed their families in a pandemic should be a no-brainer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And also, I've got to say, this links to if the players refuse to be furloughed when the club can't refund season tickets, I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, basically, Sheffield Wednesday, the Yorkshire Examiner basically said, Sheffield Wednesday players have rejected the club's attempt to place them on furlough.
It's because they only get £2,500 a week. Or a month, or I don't know, one of those two.
I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, the players have said no.
I've got to say, this is a thing. I am in the camp where, yes, it should have been on the players as well, because if there's a financial thing, we're all meant to be in this together. The people it shouldn't be hitting is the fans, and it does come back to the ownership. The fans we don't earn anything near what these players earn, yet you're still paying them. And yes, the players haven't been paid for this and this and this, and they don't want to go on furlough and all of that. But as a general football player, and I'm not talking about the younger football players that are on, I don't know, but even the ones that are on a grand a week, so they're making 4K a month, but then they've got mortgages on slightly nicer, 300K, 350K houses, and they're getting hit now because they've got a bigger thing. I'm not talking about those sort of players. I'm talking about the players that are like on big money, and there is those at Sheffield Wednesday, and I just find it wrong that we're in this situation where fans are not getting their season ticket money back.
The community aspect of this doesn't feel right. We're used to be the whole thing. We're a community club. Yeah, we have ours in the park. We give back to the fans. It's like, where's the giving back? Where's the helping your fans out as well?
Honestly,
I know
mate,
you want it's feeling a bit disingenuous.
I just think there was a time in my life recently until I kind of I got very lucky with timing with COVID that I managed to be able to support myself throughout it. But even a few months before, probably about a year or so, if that pandemic had hit a different time, I was entirely self-employed, making my money through production. The TV work, acting, music, live performance work, and I've got none of it.
Yeah.
Right. And if I went to my club and go, I could really do with that money back for a season ticket I can't use, right? Because I've now got no income coming in.
Well, sorry to interrupt. There was the situation where there was the bloke who had died, and I remember seeing this on Twitter. Bloke had died, and the daughter was trying to get the money back, kind of thing. And they did get it because it got tweeted a hell of a lot, and the club saw it. But that shouldn't be the case. It should be back in people's bank accounts.
We try and keep the balance on criticism here. I just think you're hitting the people that you should never hit, right? I understand if it's the people that have bought, in a weird way, even though it's still not right, I understand it more if it's the people who have dropped 10 grand on a box or something. Slow them down. Yeah, fine. They can probably afford it if they can spend that on a box. But the people that have spent a few £100 on a season ticket, you don't know what their current situation is, and that money could really help them out. Support that they need it.
And you don't know who's got a 2-year, 5-year, and a 10-year.
It's very different because also there'll be the people that are very in the society go, well, that's just how it works. They shouldn't have bought a ticket if they couldn't afford it, sort of thing. This climate has changed, right? If, as I said, right, I bought tickets while I've been entirely employed by myself, in season tickets and that, because I knew that I was going to constantly have that work coming in. You can't predict a pandemic's going to come in and stop your income, right?
But let's also just say our season tickets and our match price tickets don't reflect round here, round Sheffield. It doesn't reflect the working class city. They are way too high. Whoever advised you to put them at that price is wrong. I understand you need to try and make money, but the cheaper the tickets, the more people come in, the more people spend in the club shop.
We've got a new COO, sorry, and hopefully they can do something here. But there's a disconnect there. If you are thinking about season tickets next season, the club went on to say this: like all clubs, we had hoped to welcome back supporters last October, but of course, it transpired that the whole of the season was played behind closed doors. Many season ticket holders purchased iFollow passes. Blah 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 blah. This is about crediting back to if you purchase this, we can give you some form of credit back. Let's go for next season, so the 21-22. Yep. The return of fans and relative stadium capacities remains unclear as we await government guidance to that end. Consequently, when on sale, the first phase of season tickets for 2021-2022 will be open to the supporters who purchased a 2021 season ticket only due to current restrictions. Jesus Christ, guys. Learn to put commas in your press releases. Who purchased a 2021 season ticket only due to the current restrictions, right?
Not only is he mad about the season ticket, he's mad about the media bloke.
It's the punctuation. Any further sale windows will be announced depending on availability. That's the thing. I am notorious for using. I forgot what they're called. The little dot and the the comma that you know if
Semicolon?
you add in a tagline? That's the how the hell did I forget the word for semicolon?
And
It's
how
been
did
a
I
long
remember
day.
it?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm a lover of a semicolon, and I always was at university because I feel like sentences are too long, and some people feel like if they put too many commas in, it breaks it up too much. And yes, that is a grammatical thing. Use a semicolon. Don't dodge the semicolon.
To be fair, you see our show notes and you see what he'd have to edit. I could have done this for Wednesday and put no colons in and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's very much like reading one of your first drafts when you've submitted a topic. But this is a press release, so
that makes it worse.
Multi-year season tickets will be honoured as normal and processed by the ticket office, with any refunds for mismatches offered as credit in line with the above. We will offer a new pricing strategy and sales dates in due course. And once again, thank you all for your patience, support, and understanding. It's just
you're not gonna get many people buying season tickets next year.
No, I'm not doing it.
Chancellor, you are expecting people to come flooding in with season tickets. Think again.
I'd love to because I miss going to Hillsborough and all that.
Yeah,
but like,
I think you've massively. I think you need to step back, reevaluate, and rethink, because there's a lot of people right now. If you've seen some of the stuff, if you get told like we be told that you get told by people this is the situation on social media. I think Dom Housen did a poll saying how many people wanted you to stay or sell or change. It was a massive lot that wanted you to sell. Yes, I know that's Twitter, but you've got to realise that the fans that are very hurt with the ownership from being so close to getting promoted to now relegated, and the trust in your ownership and how things are run doesn't help because our communication with you as fans is poor. And we don't want to know every ins and out. I don't want to know what tea lady's making. I don't want to know what the kit man's making. But I want to know something that makes me feel that there's a positivity coming out of the club, because it's not at the minute. Everything we read is something doom and gloom again.
I bet you the staff at Wednesday have accepted furlough because they don't get a choice. They want to keep their jobs. And that's the thing. That's the way the society works. It'll be a case of, oh, if you don't furlough, your job's at risk.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And yes, okay, we can keep you, but they'll still probably lay people off. It's just, I'm only saying this. I'm only saying this, right, because obviously we try and see both sides and be fair on Chansiri and all of that. And in my opinion, yes, he shouldn't sell. He should change, and I want to see signs of it. I think we do need a CEO, and we need to go down that route and run it a little bit better. I mean, like Roy Hodgson's just retired. Bring him in as a director of football. Do all that. Get people around the. Can you imagine that sort of? They'd never come, but like, I might get some people that know football to come and help with that side of it. But we're bringing this to you and bringing it on this podcast because we've been asked, right?
Yeah.
There've been a few too many comments that I couldn't like just say, oh, we'll do it one week, we'll do it as a topic. It's
the
a
problem
point where
we haven't known anything. That's the other thing. This only came out like
but what I'm saying is the fact that so many people are getting to a point where they want us to raise it on this podcast that it's clearly an issue, right? Because it's not even like we've not even put community tabs out for a couple of weeks, and I've still seen it on most pieces of content. Please talk about season tickets, because obviously you guys haven't really gone into it, and I've not gone into it because obviously we've been seeing how it all goes, but it needs sorting. Fans shouldn't be left in the lurch like this. They're the people that suffer, and it's not fair.